that are saying this thing is woke, this thing is woke. You should be.
No, shit. Slow that down real quick. What's up? I'm Big Matt, and welcome to this is a reaction of a reaction conversation, apparently, so far, to my knowledge. Um, so honestly, I like reacting to reactions because it gives even more to talk about on more an extra layer. Skipping inward a little bit in the video, just a little bit. So, oh shit, I have zombies going on in the background. God damn it. All right, there we go. All right, back to back to the damage. All right, let's get into it. Fuck talk.
Angry, you should be upset. Tune in tomorrow for episode 4169 on why Star Wars is woke now and why you should hate it and be mad and angry and upset.
Yeah.
There's so much of that going on that the ending of the story of The Boy Who Cried Wolf is that at the end there was a wolf out there, but because there were so many false claims of there being a wolf, the people didn't help him. So that's what's happened with the word woke. When I hear somebody, so
I think that Actman's bringing up a really good point here, and I think the best example of that point is that a lot of people have
Where he voices his I'm gonna hop in on top. So, look, I actually think like with some of the games that have come out, Concord being a key aspect in the shitacular shitacular game. Like, like oh man, other than this absolute stutter attack in my head, there's been a lot of games that have come out that are like subpar. Like take Ubisoft has a ton of games that blow. Okay. That in recent history, a lot of the recent games that come out blown, and Assassin's Creed on the horizon might also blow. They have put it into like they pushed it back more, and also in the trailer, watching someone go through it, you pull the best stuff you have in a game to put in a gameplay trailer, which I still don't really like when they do that with trailers. They should honestly make moments for the trailers and make moments be hidden and you experience in game. But they just go, fuck it, we're not doing that. We're going like movies do. They'll go, look, show them some of the best parts, give them most of the jokes, in the trailers and stuff. And I don't like that. It kind of ruins the fun of it, especially if you see a lot of trailers for a single movie. You see most of the jokes in it, and that's upsetting. Now, games, on the other hand, you don't get to see as much because games are much longer than movies, and like you you're fucking with more gameplay mechanics. You are experiencing the story through your hands, quite literally. So I feel like with Star Wars, with Ubisoft's Assassin's Creed, they said that was woke because of the Black Samurai. I don't know about that. I'm gonna go through and say it out like what I think it is. I think it might just be they chose a character, they overcommitted on this character that really shouldn't have had a game about him and could have been a background presence in the game. As he seemed to be in a lot of the stories he was in. Fuck, his name starts with the Y. The main character in Assassin's Creed Shadows, in real life, he was the servant to the Emperor, and speculative at best that he was a samurai. So he wasn't a legendary samurai, because then he would be less folklorish and be more of a solid character. I think that um another one of Ubisoft's games that would also have also been accused of being woke. It's weird that they used him in this, but like I said, this was most likely, honest to God, just poor gameplay decisions. Like just terrible fucking choice and direction. And they chose to use this character that could have been a fantastic background character. He could have been an assistant in the story. He could have been a side character. He could have been a fantastic character in that regard. But as a main character, especially with the speculation, the what if, all that. And at the time we're in, where if you put a black character as your starter character, you're gonna get called woke and stuff like that. I think it's so much better to have him as a side character for both the historical sense, because you don't have all the information about this character, so glorifying him in a way that's not true when isn't too great or too fun to do. Like Black Myth Wukong is another game from that region where it uses these um it's not real, but it does go along with the story of it. Like it's true to the story, or not true to the story, but it's like it's close to the story as they could put it, or they wanted to put it, and they did it in a respectful way. You want stuff like that. You don't want to just have like this one is taking inaccuracies and you have a black guy killing Japanese dudes when I'm sure Japanese dudes would have just loved to play as a Japanese character for a Assassin's Creed game set in Japan. I mean, look, like regardless of if like people put Yasuke, there's his name or something like that, as him, black dude in a Assassin's Creed Shadows, him being the main character is not by any means probably woke. Honestly, they probably made him the main character because they heard a story about him. Was like, hey, that's cool. Let me make a whole game. And this poor leadership that they have is really where they went wrong. Um, I feel like that's it. I feel like it's less woke and more just terrible gameplay. Um, Decision choices coming out of Ubisoft. I mean, if you want an example of this, just look at Star Wars Outlaws. Like, you're not an outlaw. You're just you're just a good chick, I guess, who's doesn't look who the actress that the character was translated from doesn't look great. So, that was a weird game. It was really, really mediocre in every way. I would probably give it a 4 out of 10. And in video games, your game wants to be a 7 out of 10. In like I say 7 out of 10 because if you haven't like with all these games out that are requiring time and money, even just the initial startup of $60 a lot of the time for games, yeah, it's a lot of competition out there. Why would you want to play average when you can play above average, something that's good and offers a unique experience? That's something that's worth, I think a 7 out of 10 is actually, the lowest to go for a game being worth your time. Like, prior knowledge and all that. Like, yeah, I think games like that are worth time. But your average run-of-the-mill game is not. It's okay if you're bored and you have nothing better to do. You fall on the average games. You don't go to average games because you want it. You go to the exceptional games because you want to play the game. Like I like playing games like I like Fallout, but I don't play constantly. But it's one of my favorite games of all time. I would give Fallout probably a 7 or an 8 out of 10. Now, nines and tens, a 9 and 10 for a video game is very rare, or 10 is very rare. But at nine, there's a lot of nine, there's a lot of eights, there's a lot of sevens, but tens are rare. Um, I would say, going back to Ubisoft, I would say a 10 would be like Assassin's Creed Black Flag for me, or it would be like a high nine almost 10, because that game was crazy fun. The shipboarding, the graphics were cool at the time, the remaster was fun to replay, stuff like that. That was a good game. What the fuck? You had one of the greatest settings of all time, Japan. Japan, I love Japan. And it has samurai. It doesn't mean like I played Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Tsushima's armor is not accurate to the fucking time by any means. Nor is this one, because they don't like doing that. They like making historically some semi-accurate instead of just saying it like it is. It's like, hey, this isn't this isn't real. This is an aspect of something that's real. And I feel like that's the best way to do it. I feel like taking truth and mixing it in with a little entertainment is the right way to make video games.
Labeled games like Space Marine 2 as woke because it has I guess like a female commander in it. And I feel like that's
There's
not
no way.
really what's happening. And a lot of people, well, sorry, that's actually not true. A lot of people is inaccurate. You're
Space Marines, the most burly, the most manly game of all time. Chicks in that game have high tosses. high testosterone levels. That's all I'm saying.
Correct in correcting me on that. There is like a list of like what games are woke and what games are not woke, and I think Elden Ring and
It's like
Space
calling
Marine
Gears of
2 were
War
put
woke.
on that list. So when you
Wait,
paint,
hold on, what the fucking Elder Ring is woke? Like start to finish, like, bro, this is just a boss fucking up game. This is this is a Dark Souls game, bro. They can be transforming mid match, and I don't give a fuck. I'm too busy watching the moveset. Like these people weren't playing the game if they could focus on all that extra shit. It's like those people who go up in Elden Ring and look at the textures super close, and they're like, "Oh my God, they're shitty." Yeah, if you look like most games, if you do that, it's very rare that a game has that much detail in it. Like, I unless it's one of those games that are fucking 800 gigabytes for no reason. Even those games have that. Doesn't make sense where the fuck the gigabytes came from though. Even if I'm like, a nut hair's distance between me and that, and my God, pixels are fucking terrible in Elden Ring. But from a distance, they don't look bad. Like I would say Elden Ring is a nice looking game, but if you look too close at it, yeah, it's kind of ugly. Or no, it's not ugly. It looks kind of like older, you know? Like I'd say like an Xbox One game. If you look I'm talking about absurdly close, like you would never normally do in a playthrough close. I'm talking like you're intentionally looking for problems. That's my thing. All right. Elden Ring is perfect. All right. A game like that, you go into it, you know your experience actually. It's a very rare type of, or not a very rare type of game, but it's the type of game where you hop in, you're like, look, I'm about to go get fucked up by bosses. It's gonna be really hard, and I'm gonna get gear, and I'm gonna get cool shit. I'm gonna beat the game. It's gonna take me time though. Nowhere in that game plan is anything besides working towards that end goal of beating the game. It is not a graphical masterpiece. It does have great scenery, but graphic wise, it is not a masterpiece. But the game itself is a masterpiece. So it kind of circumvented the graphics problem. Maybe graphics wise, it's a 6 or a 5 out of 10. Okay? For its time it came out compared to other games at the time, maybe it's a 5 or 6 out of 10. Average, a little better. Fuck, it might even be a 4. It's somewhere between the range of 4 and 6 out of 10 for graphics. But everything else, fucking masterpiece level, man. Elden Ring is a masterpiece. It took Dark Souls, made it a tad bit easier, I'd say, in some boss fights, but it made everything better. All right, it's a masterpiece. It improved upon its own game. And then DLC came out, absolute fucking beast. And they went, fuck it, let's make it hard. They said, well, sprinkle a little bullshit on top of it. Let's have some traps set up everywhere. And first time run through there, you're gonna fucking die a lot. But that game is crazy. Space Marines too. Watch it actually Asmongold play it. Game looked fun. It kind of looked like honestly, it reminded me a lot of Gears of War. But Gears of War had a more I would say game to game story where like if I hop in the game, I don't need to know none of the background stuff. I just have fun. This game is kind of the same, but it's like a lot of shit. I don't know what it is. Um, I'm a big lore guy. I love lores of games. I fucking was looking into the Space Marine lore. It's awesome. Absolutely. The biggest psychopath on the planet had to come up with that lore, but it is phenomenal. It's cool and it's big. All right, it's a massive combination of stories, lore, settings, places, people. All right, it's massive actually. It's really big. The story and the expansion of it is awesome. So it's cool. The story's cool in that. Gear the War has a cool story. The fighting and executions kind of remind me. The executions weirdly did remind me a lot of Gears of War 2. I don't Gears of War also I should say, not 2. Um yeah, no, like they some reason really felt like each other, especially the sniper gameplay between Marines and Gears. Weird. I don't know if the same people made it actually, and that's a genuine I don't know because I didn't pay attention when I was the games loading up and all that. But yeah, no, really, really cool shit. Like games like that, you don't see them often, where it's like this third person perspective in that sense, where you're like these bulky ass characters, like Gears of War and Space Marines, and they're really fun. Like, and they're fun to play through. They're a good one time playthrough. Now, I don't know about the multiplayer of either of these games. Never touched them personally. Watching Space Marines looked fun. It looked cool. It looked like a really good one-time playthrough for me. I always play my games on the hardest difficulty because it makes it last longer, honestly, and that's the only reason why I want to do it because it makes the experience even longer and it makes you get more in depth with the mechanics a lot of the time. A lot of the time they're just bullet more bullets, but they eat more bullets and you just die faster. But fuck it, who cares? It means get good. Um, so yeah, I never played Gears multiplayer, never played Space Marines, or nor watched either, because I just didn't give a fuck. I just thought this campaign was dope as fuck. But yeah, no, like Space Marines, these are good games. Like you're not paying attention to what really matters if you're fucking around with all this stuff, this extra stuff in the background. You know, it's like I said with Yasuke from Assassin's Creed Black Shadows of Black Dude. He might not have been an actual DEI fucking character. He might just be a poor choice, and he would have been better suited as a side character in the background. Whilst there was a main character, main Japanese character, who was like the predominant character of the story, but maybe you had a mission where you played as Yasuke as a DLC, like I think in Assassin's Creed Black Flag, where you played as I think you played as like the black dude who was also on your ship. Like I think you play as him in one of the DLCs and stuff like that, or like a black assassin or something. I don't know, fucking who cares? Who knows? I forget. But like you can do something like that where Yasuke's still in the story, he's still a pivotal piece, he's still all of this stuff, but he's a side character because you really should have had a Japanese character, but a predominant character in your Japanese based game. Like, what the fuck? Ubisoft. Who I just want to know, like, who's their fucking PR team? They're like, yep, black guy. What do you mean? What do you mean black guy? Why are you guys putting black guy as the main character? We just are. Like, I heard a cool story. I saw like this really nice scroll, and I was like, fuck, man, I really want one of those. A black guy? No, a story about a black guy though. And I feel like that was the whole conversation. And it stopped there and they just said fucking and cranked out a game. Them being Ubisoft, they have the money. Hopefully they can burden the hit of both a Star Wars game taking a blow to the dick and an Assassin's Creed with massive titles. But they got games like Space Marine, Elder Ring are also, but are all these good games, good game direction, are actually doing good. I would say my only gripe with Space Marines would have been that the end there's too few enemy types, honestly. And maybe that's just a gripe, but there's like the amount of missions, excuse me, for the amount of missions and like the amount of time you're putting in, fighting these same enemies over and over again, it does kind of get stale. Maybe having more enemy types or more different looking enemy types. I'd say different looking enemy types does go a long way for a lot of games. Like I said, I play Fallout. I just change how characters look sometimes, and that's enough for me to do a whole replay through. Just these little features, little changes, little more character to characters, to enemies, I should say. It does make the game feel way more fresh. It makes it look way nicer.
With such a broad brush that almost anything could be, if you interpret it in this way, could be perceived as woke. You end up devaluing the word. No, I'm being serious, right? Baldur's Gate 3 too. Well, I could see Baldur's Gate 3. Baldur's Gate 3 makes a lot more sense that it's woke because you can engage in homosexual relationships.
Alders.
You can, I think they have pronouns in the game. You can change a character's genitalia with like not having them have a different body. I feel like Baldur's Gate 3, like you could make an argument that like, yeah, sure, this is a woke type thing, right? It's just that people don't care because it seems like it's an authentic product. And so
Like I was saying, gameplay design, you can still include all this stuff, but gameplay design is all where it's at. If you get poor gameplay design, it's gonna fucking ruin the game, man. Like I said, fives are not worth playing. There's too many good games out now. There's too many good games in the past. There's this massive era of great games in the past. So many good games out from the start of gaming to the end. So many good games. So sevens, the lowest people should be going back to play games. All right, prior knowledge included. Hey, this game's really good. What would you give it out of 10? I would give it an 8. You go back, you play that shit. You go, hey man, what do you think about this game? It's pretty average. I'd play it, but no, don't expect nothing too crazy. That means don't play that shit. That means you look him dead in the eyes, you spit in his drink, and you tell him no, it's not worth my time. You lose a friendship, most likely. But you've now learned something pivotally important. It's that 5 out of 10s aren't good. Having games that have it, like, this whole inclusion stuff is kind of like irrelevant. It shows that it just is annoying in the sense of like when you see a bad game have this, that means they put time away from making the game better and put it into this. Okay. Baldur's Gate, it's a good game. And then they also had time to add include stuff that they thought was important to have. All right. So they had great game, good stuff, throughout the game, you know, good direction. All right. So they did it for the fans, for the people playing the game. They took care of them, and then they took care of the side objective of theirs. All right, sure, that does take away from the game, and ultimately you are putting out a small sliver of game development time for this. But they were able to land land it on the mark. They had the right balance. They had the right objective, and they did it perfectly. They did. No, I think they did it good. I didn't play Baldur's Gate, but I watching it. I did watch it. Somebody play it because it wasn't. It's not a game for me. I don't play games that I don't think are for me. I watch people play them because they're cool. I hear good things about them, so I want to see them. And if it's good enough, I'll maybe watch a episode that's like an hour-long gameplay, and then I get into the game, and I no longer watch no more about it. But that's how I like. Like I said, if it's a 5 out of 10, I ain't playing that shit. If it's a 6, that's a maybe. If it's a 7, I am.
I think that what happened is that people are trying to like identify every instance of something being woke. But I think that if you retroactively apply this to a lot of other games, you would see other games in the past that have also had this issue as well, right? So, like for example, with like Space Marine 2, you could also say like Gears of War, right? Would also be woke because of Coltrane and Dom, right?
You keep those names out your goddamn mouth. All right. No, like quite literally, yes. That is actually a really good point. You could. Also, like I said, Assassin's Creed Flag had a black. I think it was like. I think he was a What? I believe the black guy the navigator of the ship. I think he was he a slave or something, or was he a prisoner? He was one or the other. But like either way, that's a really fucking. I'm just saying, came out nowadays, they'd be calling, they'd be like, Ubisoft, what do you think? Black people are fucking slaves and prisoners? Like, like it's like, but he was a good character. He was a really good guy, and it showed. He was your ship's navigator, and you put trust in this guy. Then, and like to navigate your ship, your crew, you have to have faith in that person. Okay, well, he showed trustworthy character. Showed he was a good character, and he was actually extremely helpful, and and it was on and he was there most of I think nearly the entirety of the game. I can't remember, but he was there all the game that I remember off the top of my head. All right, let's get back.
So that seems like kind of a bad argument, a bad way to look at it. So
It
the
is.
problem is that I think that people have started using the term woke for too many different things, or Halo, right? Yeah, exactly.
Halo. Oh,
Like, oh
Sergeant
wow,
Johnson.
Master Chief has a woman that knows everything, that tells him what to do,
And
and
that.
Sergeant Johnson's like this
Oh,
bad
there he
guy,
is.
and like he tells everybody else what to do, right? If you want to look at everything through that lens, it's like if you're a hammer, everything looks like a nail.
Yeah.
And I do think Actman's bringing up a good point that if everything is woke, then nothing is.
Mhm.
And I think that the problem is that
Or it
Concord,
loses
which is
meaning.
like, in my opinion, definitely a woke game, like 100%, is that if you don't figure out a way to like grade this or to have any sort of like measured criticism, you can't.
All right, hold on. Concord. I'm curious about Concord because Concord had some really weird characters. Is that how you spell it? I don't fucking know. Let's look at let's look at images. Oh, what the fuck? No way. All right, I've seen some Concord characters. Let's just look at this. Let's look at. These are all fucking terrible characters. Like, this is a normal guy in a red shirt with a gun. Um, This bitch is ugly, 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 ugly. The guy's the only normal looking guy. Like maybe no, this one's like mid, but they're at best is mid. What are you doing? Like let's look at Overwatch. I'd say Vantage is mid. Maggie kind of reminds me of Junkrat. Valkyrie makes sense how she looks. Pathfinder's pretty cool. Lifeline makes sense because she has a little fucking drone. Bangalore is okay, but she got some cool skins though. But looking at base character, I would say Bloodhound, Revenant, Ash is sweet looking. Newcastle, I mean he looks pretty good. Pathfinder, Octane looks good. Mirage is at Caustic, Loba. I would say Rampart. I don't really get Rampart, Horizon, Seer, Vantage. I mean, I don't give a fuck about those four. Like, I think they're actually pretty ugly characters. But other than that, I mean, but that's four out of this massive roster. Okay, that's four out of a massive fucking roster. And was this their roster? Okay, all right, let's take a look at this. Is that a fucking beak? Is that Seer? No, it's not. It's just some other black guy. All right. Well, I mean, who is there even one good character? No, there's not. All right, these sliver of Overwatch characters. Immediately, Zenyatta, Mercy. Um, I I don't know what the fuck this is. I don't know what the fuck that is. I don't know what the fuck that. Oh shit, I forgot Overwatch. I just been adding characters nonstop. But like this dude, not bad, not bad. Lucio's pretty solid. She's pretty cool looking. Brigitte, whatever the fuck her name is, not bad. I don't know what that chick looks like in game. I don't know what these three look like really. But just looking at them, she looks okay. She looks okay. This is like a fucking 4, 4, 4, 6. I don't, I don't, I don't want to rate the homies, but like Muzio's fit hard, Zenyatta's hard, Mercy's hard as fuck. Anna pretty cool. Hers is pretty cool, pretty cool, pretty cool. All right, so I'd go sixes, then eights. No, he gets a 7, 6. He's like a 7 or a 6, but solid 8, 9, 8, 9. These are cool as characters. Like Zenyatta, dope as character. He has the tank is quite literally spinning balls. My God, this man is a menace. He's cool looking. Now, um, hold on, let's go back. All right, let's hope to God that there's. Okay, all right, hold on, let's start comparing. There's no way. So what? I don't know what your name is, but let's go yellow guy with a heart, and let's go Orisa Overwatch. Okay, Orisa. Oh, I spelled it wrong. Oh, fucking. Oh well. Where is she? All right. Orisa. I just want base skin. All right, look, all of this is her. Okay, there we go. That's Orisa probably during like an end game screen. All right, end game screen, play the game type shit. End game screen. I feel like this is close as close as I'm gonna get. Um, Now let's start looking. Whole gun, whole build. She is quite good. He has 4 fucking legs. Pretty sweet. Um, yeah, like Orisa is actually a pretty like I should have probably not brought this character up because she is actually a pretty cool looking character. She is like this is one of the few characters I think who has 4 legs and actually can pull it off really well. I don't play a lot of fantasy games, but the fact is that these and not to mention he's a robot. I think 4-legged robots a lot of times like minotaurs or is that what it's called? No, minotaurs are the horn ones. But characters who have 4 legs a lot of times are just really stoopy and walked looking. I think or is it a centaur? Or fuck, I don't know. I think the half horse, half person. When I forget, I don't like the how those look a lot of the time. I think they look goofy as shit. Like yeah, if she looked more like that, it would be dumb. Um, oh, this character, perfect. Now this character, I think looks fucking stupid. Okay, this looks like some shit that came out of Cyberpunk. I love Cyberpunk. Don't mistake that comment. But like, what the fuck is this? Would you rather be this chick or the fucking tank? Like, it's easy. I'm gonna be the tank. I don't give a fuck about those legs, bitch. Unless they gripping me, I don't care. So it doesn't matter. But I guarantee, like, Orisa is actually a sweet ass character. Gun is basically, it's a fucking cool gun. Other than the Overwatch aesthetic on top of her, which, she's always waving and shit. Happy faces with the eyes, like, this character is like, I say Overwatch characters are like really, um, like PG. Because, like, I mean, like, they're like cartoony, they're rounded, and they're really soft looking characters a lot of the time. Like, Orisa looks soft. The Overwatch characters, I think, all kind of look soft. And like what I like Soldier a lot. Here, let's just go Overwatch first. All right, Soldier. All right, now Soldier. He looks. I think it's the art style, but I would say even this guy, in game, when you're actually playing him with him, he just looks like some little tiny dude, man. Compared to all these other fucking guys, he's just a tiny guy next to a bunch of fucking big ass robots. Like Hanzo's dope. He has a he has the no fucking Hanzo's actually probably yeah. I think it's the art style that really does it though. For Overwatch that makes it look so soft and like I said, PG is really what I think come to think of. But this character in a direct comparison to this character, that's night and day, bro. These games are also similar. That's why I wanted to go to Overwatch, and compare it. Holy shit, Orisa's just a cool character compared to that. Or even if we want to go to another character, which I think actually doesn't, uh, I would say look as cool. That hamster. I don't know what the fuck the hamster one is called. But like even then, the character design is way crazier. The in-game mechanics of it fit. This still looks cooler than this. Um, I look at him, I kind of think of like I'm just saying, like it's like all these characters suck. All right, this chick, perfect. I'll go off her, okay? Like look at these fucking Destiny characters underneath it who just look way better. Gibraltar does look weirdly similar in my that picture down the end. Um, what's her name? The one with the Z. Shit. Starts with a Z. Zenyatta Zard. Not Zard. Oh fuck. Sweet, perfect. This is her. Alright, so that chick kind of reminds me of this chick. Alright. Just, like I guess like a bigger built chick. Oh, but like it's so one-sided and everything goes towards Overwatch. And like you look at it, the quality, the betterness, people actually dress up as these characters. No one's gonna dress up as characters, not just because they can die, because they look like shit. All right, now let's pull out heavy hitters from Overwatch, okay? Cool as shit. All right, bro, shotguns, mask, hits, well, different. All right, make her right. What the fuck? All right, let's never click on that. As hopefully nothing crazy pops up. I'm not going any lower. Fuck that. But cool character, okay? Like, let's not trip dick. Bad. Gun, sweet. You it turns into it is an absolutely dope ass character. All right. I like the visor and the sniper. And the sniper, I like how it's a sniper and how it also is I like the spider aesthetic of her. All right. Like it's like tied in with the clothes and stuff. I don't know what Widowmaker Raichu is. I don't click that. Um who's another one? Oh, oh, oh no, we gotta do it. And Genji and Hanzo. Like these characters are mean looking characters, and I saved these for the end. There's still more characters for Overwatch that are cool looking. Doomfist, stuff like that. Look at this shit. Hold on, let's look at some other. It doesn't get better. There's no point. It doesn't. It says mediocre. It stays mid as fuck. So, oh, is this the character wheel? Dude, they all suck. This guy looks like the starting guy. He looks like his name should be fucking Tyler or something. Like, this guy's just like run of the mill dude. Like, well, yeah, this guy. What the fuck is he doing, man? Like, what is he doing here? Looks like a shoot. Poor bastard. My this Fortnite skin right here, better than all the ones in the game. Better than all the ones in the game I just saw. Um, Tomb Raider skin by default hits harder than all of the Tomb Raider is just dope. I love Tomb Raider. But like, what- dude, what's Concord doing? Like, what's a bad game I can think of? Oh, what's a game? A game that failed was Anthem. I think that I don't know. My fault. I have to put U instead of E. I mean, E instead of and whatever the fuck. All right, take a peek at Anthem. Okay, I'm not done yet. I'm still making fun of this guy right here. This guy right here. Concord. What the fuck is this, man? Why? Who made this? I want to know who made this specific character right here, because it is the fucking worst. It is just the embodiment of dog shit for a mech. I feel like mechs are kind of like, a dime a dozen. And the fact that you made such a shitty one is insane to me. Like, the fact that you have so much references. Oh, like so many references, and this is the best you can pull up. Fuck, fuck. Hold on. This is vital. This is vital. Oh my God. Whoa. Whoa. All right. All right. All right. All right. Hold on. Oh my God. I can't even click. All right. Hold on. We gotta. It's a good game. Oh, half, half, half. What the? Oh my God. All right. All right. All right. Oh, what the? All right. All right. Hold on. Like maybe Concord just had millions and millions of players, Maybe. Okay. Maybe they had so many players that I just. All right. I don't need. Oh. All right. All right. Hold on. All right. Let's. All right. Hold on. I'm just. Right now it's like we're gonna highball it because who gives a fuck? All right. Stay with me. So that's how much there is. All right. That's how many fucking games. That's how many copies I mean, that's the highest player count on Steam. Okay. Here, let's just go. I'll just do this. Make Concord feel a little better. All right, so that is a rough estimate of how many players are in this game, okay? The all-time high. We don't even need to look at Concords, or can I actually go Concords? Or oh, not even 1,000. All right, and Elden Ring was a $60 game. Or I think it was 60, but I'm just gonna go 70 because like that's how much that shit cost in the end. Now, let's times that. What do you equal? Big number? Big old number. Look at that right there. All right. Big old number. Hold on. All right. That still doesn't make sense. That's 63 million. Really? Damn. Remember that on the edge? I'm sure there's more. Or honestly, I should have done how many copies were sold. Fuck. All right. Fuck that up. What's that? All right. 12 million. All right. So 12 million. Okay. I was so off. All right. 1, 2, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. That's for Concord. Just in case they have trouble counting. Times 70. Okay, there we go, guys. Now we're there. Goddamn. Goddamn. Ladies and gentlemen. That's million right there. $840 million. $840 million minus, oh, my fucking, what the fuck, where'd that take me? Minus 2 million, 200 million. That's $640 million of profit. Guesstimates, of course. But what, what the fuck? What happened here? This game should have be 2 times better than this game theoretically should be 2 times better than that in Elden Ring. And it's oh man. All right. Okay. All right, that's fun. That was another fun little tangent of mine. All right, we don't need to look at these catastrophic fuck ups.
Can't say Concord is as woke as Space Marine 2, right? Like this is it's like it's beyond retarded. So that's a huge issue. And I think it's making it hard for people that are like against this kind of stuff to be taken seriously because they're doing things that are unserious. If you accept everything, you stand for nothing. Well, yeah, but like this is like the opposite. Like if you don't stand for anything, then all you're doing is laying down, you're doing nothing. So it's like you have to be measured in your criticism and your feedback.
It's what happened to the words racist and sexist a few years ago.
He's right.
People
That's
were
exactly
saying
what I
like
said.
air conditioning sexist and
Yes.
right, all this stupid
Which, by
shit.
the way, that was a real title. That was a legitimate thing. Women were saying that air conditioning was sexist.
It is racist and sexist, and
That's just really when the word gets to that point where like it's such a common phrase that they kind of use it for everything, like retarded, specifically. Like it's like used to just be used for people who are mentally slow. Now it's used for everything that's slow. Fucked up, but funny. It's funny in a sense, it's the evolution of words. It's like, hey, you bust your knee, like, you stand up from a desk or something, you hit your knee on the fucking desk. That's fucking retarded. You get all mad and shit. Or you know, some people do, and it's pretty funny stuff. But that's like not a positive evolution of the word, but it's like pros and cons to that evolution of the word. And with this, it's only been negative. Like there's no funny flip around and going, "Hey man, my air conditioner is a fucking is a feminist or something like that." Like I feel like the words have started to like lose a lot of their like you can't there's no goofy version of it, and there's only seriousness. So like retarded, you know, there's a lot of it was used in a lot of different funny ways, versus this one, it's not. You can't use it in common speech. You have to like really. It feels like it's more of a negative than it is a even a mediator. Like I mean like as a joke or something. It just feels like it's such a negative.
This
Is the worst one.
Welcome to
Actually, actually,
Talk. If you
fucking,
want to survive in one's human, you must remember these.
I actually.
I think Nazi and slavery are two of the worst ones that
Whoa,
are used now.
whoa, whoa! Oh fuck! Did I 5 seconds? I clicked 5 seconds. Then Asmongold's already fucking bringing up Nazis. All right.
I think Nazi and slavery are two of the worst ones that are used now, because people use, like, for example, I'm working at a job that doesn't treat me well as slavery, and like they don't like it's just I think it downplays like we have real slavery, right? Like now we have real slavery. It's not in the US. Like, and by the way, if you are trying like if there's like three
Right. They're gonna keep making those phones for us. God damn it. Like, admittedly, them Nike shoes. I mean, shit. Like, just 'cause these kids are making them, and these, I think, are they camps? I don't know. Potentially camps. And then, you know, your phones are getting mined are getting mined for by those people. You know, like the components for phones are getting mined for forcefully by people. I mean, shit. Like, I'm not gonna look at my phone or my shoes any differently, but it's a bad thing. Oh no. But I know, see how some people could turn the other way for that. Some reason they have such a hard on for games. Who knows what?
smart Redditors in chat that are like, "Oh, what about prisons?" Nothing like slavery. Nothing like actual slavery.
Oh,
If you
absolutely
think
not.
that, you're a retard. Read a book. Anyway, just look it up on
Slavery's
Wikipedia. It'll take you
crazy.
5 seconds
It's
to
such
learn
a
that you're
negative.
stupid. So if you compare that to like what's happening in like Africa, etc.,
So
that
bad
is
down there.
actual slavery in some cases, right? It is really bad.
Some
And
cases, it's
so
most cases down
people
there.
that
It's
compare
really
those two
bad.
things, I think, are being like very, very disingenuous, and they're
Like,
like hijack.
the good places in Africa are really beautiful. And then, you know, there's just a lot of bad shit going on down there because not all of it has like a central government. So you'll have like run of the muck people going fucking crazy in some regions.
Hijacking the emotional baggage of a word to make their own argument or their own feelings more important. And I think Nazi is the same thing. Like the amount of times that I hear people being called Nazis because they don't
A
want
lot,
open
actually.
borders or they're like Donald Trump fans is way too much.
Boy Who Cried Sexist, The Boy Who Cried Woke. These
Yeah.
are three
Heard
books
a lot
in a
from Donald
volume
Trump fans.
Okay.
He's right.
that
Dude,
all have
so-
the same ending.
Dude, so it's I mean, you're a video game critic and you do video game analysis, so I find it shocking that you don't see the pattern in a game like
Bro.
Concord having 3 black females in it and not a single white man.
Wasn't
It
there?
did have a
I
white
already
guy in it,
checked.
but
It did.
I think the problem is that a lot of the people that have discussions about this topic have like they've already made up their mind about it, and they're looking at it from a one-dimensional perspective. And I think that's what happens with people that are like super anti and super pro this type of like inclusion, because they're not really looking at it. Both of these extremes trend to the perspective of I am basing my opinion on things off of something that is not happening, basically, right?
Yeah.
Exactly what happened to just make a good game. People are too emotional. Yeah, well, it's also that people are not really willing to like concede any ground. And I think if you're not really willing to see like the sense of like what other people are saying, then I think that you can't be reasoned with, right? You can't have people understand what your perspective is. So yeah, what if everything really is woke? I feel like then at that point, then the term doesn't mean anything. Because like it's kind of like, remember what I was saying before about how I don't like how people call things scams? Like for example, like Lunchly or like the Pokemon cookies.
Anything that comes out by streamers is what he's trying to say.
They're not really a scam, they're just overpriced. And I think that if you use the word scam, a scam is when you buy something and you don't get what you paid for, fundamentally, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you buy something, they don't give the thing to you, or you buy something and you get something else. Or you buy something under the pretense of one thing, and then what's advertised and what's given are two separate things.
So in that sense, there's a lot of that. Like, like when people go and buy something and like, oh, I think it's this. And then it turns out just to be really shitty. Um, and my thing is with that, I think Dan TDM, I think it was Dan TDM who who sent out a post and it was like basically in reference to Mr. Beast and KSI and Logan Paul, all starting Lunchly. And it was like, damn, I don't understand it no more. Why are people um trying to like sell stuff for the sake of selling stuff? Oh, hold on. Dan T what was it? Okay. Wait, will that just pop up? Will it just pop up? There it is. Fantastic. I knew it would. What happened to YouTubers, man? I can't say nothing anymore. This is selling stuff for the sake of making money. Simple. How does this benefit their fans? This is selling crap to kids who don't know better than to trust people who are selling it. Do better. And I honest to God. So, face value. Looking at the tweet, reading it, comparing it to other YouTubers, comparing it to things like, I don't know. Oh no, how is this benefiting anybody? Okay. Um, oh my goodness. There's a whole site for it? Oh my God, this looks like a pretty big site. And like this book? All right. Oh, hold on. Like, yeah, I'm just saying, if we just want to, yeah. But look, the whole point of it is, fuck is this? I don't know what the fuck that is. But yeah, like I said, the whole point of like a tweet like this, I don't feel he meant it in the sense of, hey, why is everyone selling merch? He didn't mean merch. Why? I feel like so with Lunchly, okay. Um, I feel Lunchly specifically is a very is like what he's trying to say is why are these people, you know, in recent history they've all had allegations. I don't know about KSI, but these two have been beating the public, have been on the public press, being badmouthed a lot recently. Or no, him just a whole lot. So we can just this guy's already been fucked. But on this half of Mr. Beast, he's good. The right half by Logan Paul, he's been tainted. Fuck. I think that overall, he's kind of, gone down a rabbit hole. He's done a lot of dumb stuff in his life and in his career that's hurt him. And, but I think he's like, business wise, he's done really well. So I don't like this guy a whole lot. But that's okay. He's doing good for himself. But this is another venture of his where, like he's had other ones, like crypto ones specifically, and they didn't go good. Ask him how he's handling those allegations right now with all those people who didn't get their money back. It's not good. All right. It's not a good look. And then Mr. Beast with all the current allegations of, people being basically up there having his own little fucking Activision party where, they're constant. accusations. Hey, is this guy a predator? I heard your guy who just flipped genders is now trying to fuck kids. It's like, what the fuck do you mean? I'm just trying to win a Lambo. It's changed a lot, the perspective of him. And it kind of ruins a lot of the old videos of his because of that. Now, I don't know nothing about this guy, but I do know that crime isn't exactly what it's copped up to be. It may have more electrolytes in other senses, but there's different types of electrolyte. Like there's different types of sugars. It may have more. This may have less calories than Lunchables. Like it can have lower numbers, higher numbers where it looks good, but the utility of these pieces, the utility of what you're selling and what you have. It's like, hey, look, I have the right amount of electrolytes in a Gatorade to help me stay up and keep me awake. But in a Prime, I only had maybe out of the fucking 400 or something stupid high electrolytes, only a quarter of that's actually viable. And it's actually used to keep you awake. The rest of it is electrolytes, but different electrolytes. So, I mean, wouldn't that be not false advertising, but is instinctively dishonest in a sense because it's being advertised to have more than Gatorade when Gatorade has this because it has electrolytes and it's a sports drink and it's used that way and it has electrolytes for the purpose of keeping people up and it's more sugary and shit like that. Or I think they're about like honest God, I can't taste the difference in of sugar content, but like Gatorade's good, Prime's not bad either. It's what it comes down to, like, hey, look, this is both just energy drinks. It feels like you're trying to give a kid an energy drink at the end of the day. And energy drinks aren't really the greatest thing for kids to have. Because, like, the electrolyte difference between them is, sure, giant and is actually pretty big, I believe. Hold on, I want, just, we'll learn together. Gatorade. Um, electrolyte. All right, I'm sure this will give me like a mass. So, as I said, the 5 types of electrolytes. The multiple types of electrolytes. I believe so. I know that. Fuck, I wish I had the thing I read. I read it that I read that had the difference. I recommend people go out do the research. Okay, but and then hopefully you'll come back and you'll find that I know that it had that Gatorade had like whichever one of these actually like it had pieces of them. Okay, had a mix of them to actually help and rehydrate you, keep you awake. I know some of these are for rehydration, some of these are for awareness and stuff like that. I don't have the actual personal information of which one's right. I recommend you go out, you go look at it, go check it out, correct me, worst case. And then I know Prime also does have, but I remember hearing Prime had a massive amounts of like, I don't know if it was potassium. It was like one of the, I think it might have been potassium actually. It was a massive amount of that, and it was minute amounts of others. So like, it didn't have a proper mixture. It didn't have like an even balancing act to keep you more hydrated, or no, to actually allow these electrolytes to have a better act. It's more just you had a lot of waste, is what I'm trying to say. So with this tweet, you know, I feel like he was just trying to say, why the fuck are people trying to sell stuff to kids? And especially because it's um this group of people who have speak of the devil, there he is. Um this group of people whose public image has been progressively getting worse. And this guy here, he's probably trying to say that, but the way he said it was poor and not specific enough. Giving these half-baked tweets, and I'm sure he did on a whim, does leave it open to a lot of criticism and and being like not having a specific thing to nag on kind of makes it look dumb. But and if you take the time and you glance at it and you're like, well, wait a minute, how did he mean this? I think he means it's because these people are kind of notorious. KSI, I don't know much about, but for selling stuff to kids and not doing it in an essentially proper manner. Logan Paul, there's fucking mountains of shit you can look at of him that he's gone through his channel to do, and Cryptozil, and it's been falling out there. But and then Mr. Beast, the current allegations on him, he's really fighting a fucking he's not really, I don't really see it hit him too bad, but it's like, huh. And in the end, it's like, you're having Mr. Beast, he's going, yeah, buy my shit. KSI, another massive YouTuber, buy my shit. Logan Paul, buy my shit. And having this Lunchable replacement be interesting, admittedly. I don't think that it's a super big contender, being real. Even with all the what is it? What's the word? Famous backing, with all the superstar faces it has in front of it. I don't think it's super, gonna beat out Lunchables all like that, especially if it is more expensive. Especially if it is, I actually don't know if it is more. What the fuck is that? Why is that so expensive? You can only see it in packs. Why? I need a single, normal, Lunchable. Oh my fucking god. Just give me shopping? Fuck, look how many fucking packs are in that boy. Alright, Lunchables. It's just the fucking cracker one. Oh my god, it's a $2. Why is that one $4? eBay. Who the fuck buys a Lunchable on eBay? Alright, okay. I feel like this is bullshit that I can't find a fucking Lunchable in a single pack. But look, Sam's Club, you have 6 of them for $7, $8. But one Lunchly is half of that. What? Kroger's off them for just $2, making it Lunchly a much more costly option with a much more nutritional value. Lunchables prices vary, but Kroger's offers them. Yeah, all right. So like these are already expensive, is what I'm trying to say, and this is a cheaper version. But like to go back to the tweet is what matters here. This tweet is really just trying to get to I feel he's really just trying to say, hey, why the fuck are you making this? Like, why do you keep making stuff? Mr. Beast has so many things coming out, toys, yada yada yada. The fucking chocolate bar brand, yeah. Like he has so much stuff going on already. And then this is just adding more to the pile of shit. And it's just kind of crazy, outside looking in. Like, hey, look, I'm not someone who would buy none of this stuff. I've never bought merch from a group or a person. But honest to God, you gotta understand that people are brands when it comes down to it like this. Like Asmongold. I love watching Asmongold. If I look at his videos, you will see I watch a lot of them when I play my games. I watch a ton of his shit while I play games. I won't watch him play with Core Keeper because I'm better than him at Core Keeper. And I don't like watching people who are worse than me at video games.
He's right.
But yeah, it's weird that they would do something. Like that's what the tweet, like what I think when I look at that tweet. It's just crazy that it got to that point. Oh my god!
And
I
like
think
air conditioning
it's 5-minute
sexist and
video. It's an
Yes.
hour-long video.
all this stupid
Which, by
shit.
the way, that was a real title. That was a legitimate thing. Women were saying that air conditioning was sexist.
Where did I
Is
get
racist
I can get the Dan Studios tweet from this. This is absolutely insane how I did
and
that.
sexist, and it destroyed the meaning that those words are supposed to have.
He's right.
The boy who cried racist. The boy
Nazi is the worst one. I think Nazi and slavery are two of the worst ones that are used now, because people use, like, for example, I'm working at a job that doesn't treat me well as slavery.
Calm down, phone.
And like they don't, like, it's just, I think it downplays, like, we have real slavery, right? Like now we have real slavery. It's not in the US, like, you're stupid. So if you compare that to like what's happening in, like, you know, Africa, etc., that is actual slavery in some cases, right? It is really bad. And so people that compare those two things, I think, are being like very, very disingenuous, and they're like hijacking the emotional baggage of a word to make their
All
own.
right, we already watched it. It was because I fucked up
Made
and
up their mind about it,
skipped it.
and they're
Or
looking at
clicked
it
on his
from
channel.
a one-dimensional perspective. And I think that's what happens with people that are like super anti and super pro this type of like inclusion, because they're not really looking at it. Both of these extremes trend to the perspective of, I am basing my opinion on things off of something that is not happening, basically, right? Exactly what happened to just make a good game. People are too emotional. Yeah, well, it's also that people are not really willing to like concede any ground. And I think if you're not really willing to see the the sense of like what other people are saying, then I think that you can't be reasoned with, right? You can't have people understand what your perspective is. So yeah, what if everything really is woke? I feel like then at that point, then the term doesn't mean anything. Because like it's kind of like, remember what I was saying before about how I don't like how people call things scams? Like for example, like Lunchly or like the Pokemon cookies. They're not really a scam, they're just
See?
overpriced. And I think that if
See?
you use the word scam, a scam
That's how I
is
got
when
there.
you buy something and you don't get what you paid for, fundamentally, right? So like you buy
Yeah.
something they don't give
Yeah,
you.
this is how I got there. I was confused on how I got to that point. I completely forgot. I watched up to this point in the video, and then I went on my rant.
Thing to you, or you buy something and you get something else, or you buy something under the pretense of overpriced products, or having products that are stupid are not scams, they're just overpriced garbage. And so if you
Hmm.
take the word, and again, I think that's what happens, people like to take the word and then expand it so they can have that emotional control over the conversation. You know, Pokemon cookies were a scam because there was one that claimed to be. If you want to make the health argument, the health benefit argument, I think that's a fair argument to make, and I think that's totally fine. But that's not the argument that most people were making, and so I'm really talking about the price of the cookies being a scam. I don't think something being overpriced makes it a scam. That's not how things work. So yeah, it's turning it into a buzzword.
Who's that? Who's that alien chick? Damn. So damn. Damn. Well, keep the frame.
Exactly. Speaking of scams, the day before offers are offering dinners for them for 12K.
Not really. Who is this chick? Who is this? Fuck. Huh, shit. I'm going to have to exchange names. Hold on. Let me fucking staking it. It's nice. You know what? Hold on. No, no, no. Let's not get dangerously off topic again because I've already gone for this is 9 and 10 minutes. Oh my god. How the fuck did I do it for an hour and 8 minutes? That's crazy. That's absolutely nuts. You know what? Actually, guys, if you want to watch the rest of the video, go to Asmongold. He definitely does not need the help, but it's always good to be more knowledgeable and more interested in other people. Maybe you've never seen stuff from him before, but now you have. And the Act Man, and other guy who was disagreeing with the Act Man. I don't know the fuck that is. Don't care. But yeah, no. So if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Tell me how good I was, and say I loved how soothing your voice is, Big Daddy. And I won't even acknowledge it, being honest. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. As always, I need to work on an outro. I'll do that. But I really will. Oh, Andy Pants Gaming. Who the fuck is that? I've never heard of that guy once. All right, now let's get to it. The video's over. We're done watching it. If you want to watch the rest, go do it on your own. Now, It's the comment sections, guys. It's always the comment sections that have some of the hardest hitting questions one can ask another person. All right, heard here. This is a good one. This is a good one to. The problem with act. Hold on, I got you. I'll read it for you for those. I like when people read stuff to me in the video. The problem with Ackman is that he mocked and insulted people that were calling things woke, pretending he wasn't happy. That's why now he sounds dis discouraging to me. Some people abuse the term, sure, but what would you call putting surgery scars in a game? All right, the top scars that he's talking about. Actually, there's a bunch of games that have that, and I do think it's weird because it is a fantasy game a lot of the time. I think one of the games where Asmongold was actually playing had it, or he was watching and it had it and it had that, and I was like, that's kind of it was like it's a magical game, and the fact that it had it still, if you're in a world of magic and you can't just fucking flip a finger and do it, change. I thought it was kind of like bringing real world politics into a game and stuff like that is woke. But like back to my references prior, Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate having that means that the game went in a good direction. It's all about game direction. I feel like this stuff doesn't make games bad, but it does mean that a game like Baldur's Gate compared to a game like what Concord is a big difference because of things like that. Because that means, like, say Concord had some shit like this. That means ultimately that they didn't put all their time and resources into making a good game. Baldur's Gate was a good game, and it had this, or no, it had more sensitive stuff to word it like that, or woke stuff, but it was a good game. So it shows that there's a line between bad games with that, good games with it. But the honest to God just goes back to the timeless classic of, hey, this game was shit and this was good. But more people, you would have more of a reason to get mad at these people because they took the time to go out their way and make this game that you wanted to be good bad. And not only did they make it bad, they went out of their way and added useless shit. Like on top of like I'm sure Assassin's Creed is gonna have like a fucking battle pass or something. And not only did they make Yasuke this main character, but they also, like I said, he should have been a side character. Like I said, but they also are probably going to add crazy stupid monetization packs and stuff like that. So like that means like maybe 20% of this game was actually aimed towards making it a decent playable game. And the other 80% of Assassin's Creed Shadows was pressed towards making monetary, hitting a monetary goal, hitting a political goal and stuff like that. So like that's why I feel like when it comes down to that, we could call those aspects woke, but it's more just the poor direction of game design. And that's where the problem is. These people are choosing the wrong things to focus on whilst making games. It's not I would say that even the culture is not the problem. It's ultimately down to, and for at least video games and movies, the directions, the directors of these games and movies just having the wrong audience in mind. It's them fucking up. And I'm sure that's what the Ackman was trying to say. And it is woke, but it's also primarily game design that is the problem. There it is. All right. It's exactly that. Concord. I don't know how Concord, honest to God, if I look at Concord, not player count. Characters. All right, let's look at some images of these guys. They're just like, even if they're not inclusive, like if you don't look at the race of these motherfuckers and you just look at the actual looks of them, they're just not cool characters. Like, None of this is cool. This game came out. It costs $40 to an Overwatch that's free, and that's an absolute butcher. I think a Concord costs $40. Yeah, but that absolutely could have killed it. Not to mention Overwatch was a bigger game. What the fuck? Not to mention Concord was a small fish compared to a titan such as Overwatch. That's been around a long time. And oh my God, get out of here! Stop trying to get me. But yeah, like this game exists. There's no forgetting that it does. And they chose to drop a game similar to it with less interesting characters and just mediocrity overall in a game. Like even if Overwatch has fallen off a lot since where it started, that's irrelevant to the fact of, hey, look, this game is better in terms of characters, in terms of your time. Overwatch is better. It was worth it. We're comparing a 5 to a 7 again, but Overwatch is an 8. I'd say it's an 8 because it at one point was really good, and maybe it fell off a little bit, but I'm talking about its peak of all time is an 8. I don't want to go no higher because I don't think it is. It's not my type of game, really. But I feel for me, out of games of all times, it's an 8. Okay. It's not my personal favorite, but it is an 8 out of 10. And Concord was a 4 or 5 and cost money on top of it. Fucking trash. The wokeness of that game, um, doesn't really matter a whole lot. It's more the game direction. Like I said, adding so, and then, seeing like all that wasted time they put in to appeal to an audience, and they probably put it in because their gameplay couldn't appeal to people. So they probably try to tap into a market using these, minor, like these, no, these woke things. So wouldn't that even be more disingenuous? So you made a shitty game and were disrespectful to people? Damn. Like I said, wokeness does not ruin games. Bad game direction does. Wokeness does show where their objectives lie, battle passes and stuff like that. Show where their monetary goals. That also shows where game direction lies. Stuff like that. Like all these are problems. And how every game had a battle pass at one point, like wokeness is like your new battle pass, man. Like quite literally you're losing game content and they're involving games around it so that they can, like I love Apex, but what fuck, man, you change one feature every battle pass. Minus the limited time modes, which I love. Apex is a fun game. But, like what the fuck is going on here? And not to mention Apex is monetary. Like Apex is a perfect one to bring up actually, because they split the battle pass in two. It costs money now. You can't buy it. I'm like, what the fuck? What happened here? You can't like Fortnite started it with, complete the battle pass, you get a little extra, and you get what you put in to get the battle pass. Now, it's been like that this entire time in Apex until I think the most recent season or the season before, where it now costs only money and you can't use the Apex coins that you get to rebuy the battle pass. There's no continue to save and play mechanic. Absolute fucking trash. And stuff like that does hurt the gameplay, does hurt the game, even if you're not going out and spending tons and tons of money on the game. Yeah, but ultimately, those are my thoughts on this. It's great video, great video. He doesn't need a like from me. He already has. I'm sure my viewing of this content has already made him $100 million with how much I watch it. Fantastic, fantastic stuff from him, man. Low effort content, but goddamn, do I love it. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. This is the end of the video. Those are just to wrap up my thoughts. I want to look at some comments, and I'll see you next time.